65-year-old George Ngige limps around his compound in central Kenya with his wife in tow. 20 years ago, he was an upright man, a businessman who swiftly moved from one of his business premises to the next without the aid of crutches. It all changed 20 years ago on August 7th, 1998, when terrorists struck the U.S. embassies in Nairobi and Dar es Salaam.
That is when the big blast blew. I didn't shake too much because I thought it was just a tire burst or something. But within seconds, that is when everything, it blew. It took me, I felt myself in the air. And I felt as if there are some needles piercing me. And automatically I thought, I remembered that there is the end of the world, which I have read in the Bible. I had been taught about the end of I thought this is the end. And that is when I called my God.
That marked his endless trips in and out of hospital as doctors attended to his extensive injuries, which included a fractured pelvic bone. This led to a halt in his thriving business operations and what was a comfortable life for his wife and 6 children.
So everything went nothing. We started about selling our like jikos in cookers or what, so that we can finance education for children. That is when the USAID came with a program of assisting students. So my kids were enrolled, but unfortunately 3 of my kids were already in college out of high school, and the program was for primary and secondary.
Support towards medical care for victims of the attack only lasted until 2003. Victims like Ngige have since been forced to fend for themselves. 20 years since that Friday morning, hundreds of victims who are unaffiliated to the U.S. government have not been compensated. Their cries for justice continue. The U.S. government has refused to make monetary compensation to victims of the attack, indicating that it was not responsible for the attack. The USAID says it has so far spent $45 million on Kenyan victims. Ngige wonders why the Kenyan government has been unable to push the U.S. government to compensate them from funds frozen from the account of the Al-Qaeda militants over the years.
They say they compensated buildings, living out human beings.
Ngige, who is going through his last phase of chemotherapy after he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, is also the chairman of a survivors network. He says he has knocked every door in Kenya seeking help, but now patience is running out.
If there is a political will of the Kenyan government, they could have approached the Americans and talk with them, even if the law of America doesn't allow this. They can talk. They can use political machinations or at ambassadorial level out of quoted settlement.
As the world marks the 20th year since the attack, for the victims, those whose loved ones were maimed, the widowed and the orphaned, it will be 2 decades of agony. Sarah Kimani, SABC News, Kenya.